and welcome to this edition of
Positronic episode.
I'm Barry P. Cook. I'm here to talk to you about the season finale of Superman and Lois Season 3. It was called What Kills You Only Makes You Stronger. As it begins, we find ourselves a month after the events of the previous episode. Luthor's been out of jail for a month. Lois has been recovering from her surgery for a month. And Lois is wondering what's going to become of Luthor after he experienced what he experienced. We learn that Chrissy is pregnant, and she tells Kyle, who is overjoyed about it. John pays a visit to Lana to check on her security system and finds nothing wrong, but he asks her out for drinks. Lois announces that she wants to do the thing with Clark, like right now. And so they go to Clark's brother's vacation spot in Italy that they'd gone to earlier in the season, and they do indeed do the thing. When they get back, they tell the boys that they're all going to go to Italy now that it's summer and school's out. Kyle breaks the news to Lana about the pregnancy, and the girls are there, and Lana says she's happy for him, even though she always wanted another kid herself. General Lane tells John that the DoD wants more of his gadgets, but that he'd have to move to Metropolis. As Chrissy is breaking the news of her pregnancy to Lois and Clark, Clark hears that Judge Regan, the judge they met a few episodes back, was murdered. So they go to Metropolis, whereupon Lois theorizes that Luthor killed her to send a message to Lois. John breaks the news about moving to Metropolis to Lana on their date. Apparently, the general is dating, but I think his lady friend is a bit suspicious. And as it turns out, she works for Luthor. Clark has a talk with Jordan about how he's been treating Sarah and tells him that he needs to make things right with her. So Jordan goes to apologize, but together he and Sarah decide they shouldn't be friends at this point in time. But I don't think that they meant not be friends the way they phrased it, because they're not going to be enemies, right? And they're not dating anymore. So they're just going to be people who know each other that don't hang out and that don't, I guess, socialize. So, okay, that's cool. But they phrased it weird. Anyway, John and Lana get together after their date and also do the thing. Lois and Clark start to figure out that the general's gone missing, which he has because he was tasered by his lady friend, who's not his friend, and grabbed by Lex's goons. Speaking of Lex, he's been, I guess, taking care of Bizarro, and he feeds him a cow. Okay. We then get a flashback to when Luthor first encountered Bizarro, and Bizarro almost killed Otis until Luthor shot him with what looked like a yellow sunlight gun, after which he hung Bizarro from the ceiling by chains. We then see that Luthor killed Bizarro over and over again in various ways, which apparently made him stronger and stronger every time, though I'm not sure how that works, but that's what happened. At a special event in downtown Smallville in honor of a meteor shower, Kyle grabs the mic and proposes to Chrissy. She, of course, says yes. Superman confronts Lex at the Kent farm and asks him where the general is, but instead of telling him, Lex unleashes Bizarro on him, only he's become Doomsday somehow, who Lex tells to bring him Superman's heart when he's done with him. As they fight, they land in Smallville Town Center, where Superman has to tell John and Jordan not to get involved, presumably for their safety. And then the fight moves elsewhere, leading to Superman freezing Doomsday in a block of ice as the fight goes underwater, only for him to break out using his heat vision, but not before Superman manages to impale the ice block with him in it on a building, just as Doomsday Bizarro is breaking out, but it doesn't kill him. They then wind up continuing the fight, and Doomsday actually knocks Superman out and flies him into space, where the yellow sun revives Superman, enabling him to continue fighting Doomsday. It looked like on the moon or on a meteorite. And that's where the episode ends, on a cliffhanger, just as they're about to come together and punch each other. So I thought this was a good episode. I really liked the fight between the two Supermen, in this case, Doomsday, Bizarro, and Superman. And I really liked the scenes with Lex Luthor. I think this is an interesting version of Luthor that we haven't seen before. It's kind of like a biker gang version of Luthor, like a bruiser version of Luthor. And I think the actor did a really good job. It wrapped up various other threads. I mean, Lois is on the mend now from the cancer, and Jordan and Sarah are no longer fighting. And they set up the other characters to be absent next season, right? Because John's going to move to Metropolis with Nat, and the general got tooken, and we don't know what's going to happen with him. They might just kill him. Lana's probably going to go to Metropolis to be with John. I think Kyle is going to end up getting a job offer in another town early next season. So that didn't happen in this episode, but I think they set everything in motion so where next season is not out of the blue. I mean, it's practically out of the blue, but it won't be out of the blue, out of the blue. So that's good, as much as the other characters being absent is going to suck. I really don't see how the show is going to be the same at all. I almost wish it wasn't coming back, because I think it's going to be a completely different show. I mean, the only reason I'm excited to watch it every week is because of Lana and, Jordan and Sarah, because I kept thinking they were going to get back together, in addition to Superman and Lois, obviously, but that was the heart of the show to me. And without that, it's not going to be the same show. So, this was a decent season. They had some really strong episodes. The season finale was good. The action scenes were awesome, but I'm really bummed about next season. So I don't know, but that's really all there is to say. It was a good season ender, and next season awaits. But that's really it. So I'm going to get out of here. I'll be back, when season 4 opens to review season 4. Until I return, I wish you peace and long life.